Holocaust denier, Armenian genocide denier, lying about the Korean War, appropriating ancient past for your Aryan master race agenda. What I was showing you in the beginning was a bunch of popular historical revisionism. Throughout history, there have been many disagreements about what happened in the past. Many were an attempt to cover up the mess. Others wanted glory, so they teach false propaganda. Others for power. Others got visions and said their people were the true Jews. Others denied the multi-ethnicity of ancient Egypt. Alright, those last two, who are they? The infamous Black Hebrew Israelites, who claimed their descendants were the original Jews, so hence the 12 lost tribes of Israel were black. The other was the Hoteps, who denied multi-ethnicity and the diversity of skin tones in ancient Egypt, and believed the society was homogeneously and predominantly black. How did both of these groups happen? What do they claim? Who are their enemies? Are they right, or just another elaborate cult? The Black Hebrew Israelites and the Hoteps is an Afrocentric focus group, but they are more of a shadowy subculture of Black American history and Afrocentrism. The Black Hebrew organization started in the late 19th century, starting from a revelation from God that Black Americans are the descendants of Hebrews. On the other hand, the Hoteps have a vague origin story. They go something like this: the West experienced Orientalism. Many Black Americans created alternate historical stories that appealed to Black Americans, and grew cult-like Black nationalist movements like the Nation of Islam. One movement known as Egyptomania influenced the Black communities. Eventually, in the age of the internet, the Hotep movement and the Egyptian agenda spreaded. The Hoteps I want to discuss is the Egyptian-focused Hoteps, who claim ancient Egypt is one single monoracial society that is entirely black. A caveat I just want to mention is that the Hotep is a complicated term because it isn't religious or anything, but an ideology. While sure, Hoteps can believe or claim something extreme, but the term can be weaponized to discredit other black radical ideas. So just be careful and stay educated around the term. Both Black Hebrew Israelites and Egyptian-centric Hoteps are completely off the spectrum from the Black radical movements or organizations like the Black Panther Party. Usually they aren't taken seriously. Also, even though they are often portrayed as Afrocentric movements, ironically enough, they aren't much different to right-wing white nationalists.
Are you totally against interracial relationships?
I am totally against it, and I want to make sure you understand why. It's not because...
But who are they? Pseudo-intellectuals, pseudo-historians, conspiracy theorists, and history revisionists. Extreme Black Hebrew Israelites claim many crazy shit. Certain sects claim blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are included as the true tribes of Israel. The accepted Jews we know are seen as imposters and culprits of identity theft. Black Hebrew Israelites also believe white people and white Jews are Edomites, and God will one day enslave them. Extreme Black Hebrew Israelites interpret this as a revenge for slavery. Black Hebrew Israelites also views the Atlantic slave trade as God's punishment, so further scapegoating white people in biblical terms. Now, because Black Hebrew Israelites believe they are the true Hebrew Israelites, they assert racial superiority because they are God's chosen people. They avoid Christian holidays, believing them as pagan, so they typically celebrate Old Testament holidays like Passover. Many leaders and street preachers preach hate, sexist, patriarchal, and racist speeches projected. They absolutely despise homosexuality because of their weird conspiracy theories that it is a Jew or a white man's invention to reduce the black population. So it looks like we get an alternate version of the biblical stories and historic revisionism on the slave trade. Egyptian Hoteps, on the other hand, are less popular but still get attention. I think their history, which led to their claims, is interesting though. Let's talk about first what they claim. Hotep is an ancient Egyptian word for to be at peace. Ironically, its extreme sects push questionable beliefs. Hoteps are generally pro-black, which isn't a problem, but it's limited. They are black nationalists, conservative, typically far right, and pseudo-historians, which we will talk about. Extreme Hoteps like to appropriate ancient Egyptian, or Kemet, they like to refer to civilization as a predominantly black society. They also claim as descendants of ancient Egyptians. As descendants, they foster black pride towards Egyptian culture because of the advancement and accomplishment of ancient Egypt. Yes, there were definitely black people in ancient Egypt, but they weren't the majority or a monoracial group that dominated the entire Egypt. Egypt was rather a diverse society with a wide range of different skin tones. There lies southern Egypt, or Upper Egypt, where the Nubians lived. They had very dark skin, and they are recognized as being in control under the 25th dynasty of Egypt. Aside from their historical revisionism, these radical Hoteps also carry deep far-right values, or should I say Ankh-right values. Hoteps absolutely despise homosexuality because it's a threat to the black population's growth. Interracial marriages are frowned upon as they threaten black nationalism. But it's fine to them when a black man goes with snow bunnies, I guess. I digress. Hoteps often place women second, and black women's struggle second, and black men's issues are priorities. Oftentimes, they are misogynistic and have an unusual sexual perspective on black women. Now, these unusual claims from both black Hebrew Israelites and Hoteps didn't advertently spread out of nowhere. There is a strong etiology behind these ideologies, tracing back to the slavery period of the United States. Of course, I blame white supremacists for desecrating many black Americans' identities. Many movements emerged after that, and the most popular being Afrocentrism and its branches, such as Afrocentricity. Afrocentricity teaches that everything about Africa should be seen and taught and extrapolated through the lens of the people of African descent instead of European. Even though the idea came from the 80s by Molefi Kit Asante, many emulated the Afrocentricity philosophy in the past. Unfortunately, some had created strange cults, which could explain Black Hebrew Israelites' existence. On the other hand, after slavery, many young black men attempted to reconcile with their lost identity and realized that Egypt was a part of Africa since they are Africans of descent. So they reconciled their proud Egyptian ancestry, even though their ancestry is majority West African, which is different from East African genes. Afrocentricity also plays a role because the West used to claim Egypt as theirs and disassociate it from the continental Africa. So, through Afrocentric perspective, they were able to claim Egypt as an authentic African nation. However, pseudo-history, including revisionism, can lurk around. Now, I'd like to, for the last time, caveat this important knowledge that I'm explaining the extreme sides of Black Hebrew Israelites and Hoteps. There are subcultures and sub-ideologies within the shadows of the Afrocentrism spectrum. This means they don't fucking represent Afrocentrism. They are frivolous, as most black communities do not take them seriously. Also, these ridiculous ideologies don't mean other black radical organization, Pan-Africanism, Afrocentrism, and Afrocentricity should be viewed the same. Many racists online would throw around the Hotep word, accuse people of being too pro-black, like the extreme Hoteps. They say some crazy stuff, and they will get crazy attention. The attention, unfortunately, will assume this is all that Hoteps and other radical black groups think, like annoying DEI folks, or appropriating every single culture on earth, like the Vikings. While looking through Hoteps and Black Hebrew Israelite references, a lot of comments I would see is, "We was kings and shit," clearly mocking the African American vernacular English accent. Historic revisionism is fine as long as there's evidence, but when there is lacking evidence to claim the accepted historical facts is false and put it to your own interpretation, it creates danger, literally setting people up to failure. A solution is to let them yap. Go to your own solutions and philosophies, build them and test them, and progress through while they watch. Thank you for watching.
What's up?
Struggle is up, brother. Oppression is up, brother. Salami, eggs, and bacon. My name is Dewey. Oh, ba, 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 ooh. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Jenkins.
Nigga, what?